I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with this quote that Kevin O'Connell said. And he said, I believe that organizations fail young quarterbacks before young quarterbacks ever fail the organization. And it's wholeheartedly true. And I actually watched that clip on the Rich Eisen show, and it meant a lot. It actually meant a lot, and it made a lot of sense. Because we seen a lot of young quarterbacks come. We seen a lot of young quarterbacks come in the league, and they don't pan out. They don't get any kind of success. They don't win any games. They don't get the faith and trust in them anymore because they get let go. They get dumped. They get cast aside. They get treated as a castaway, or a guy that isn't all about winning, or a guy that isn't about trying to help the team. You got to help the team, and you got to be all about winning. And the organization has to do that too. They just can't just bring a young quarterback in and say, hey, let's have success overnight. Let's have, wins overnight. No, you got to put your trust and a lot of timing and faith in that young quarterback. Bryce Young is a prime example of that. Prime example of why he's losing a lot of faith from the organization. They failed him. They failed him. He didn't fail that organization. They failed him. And they're 2-18 with him being a starter. So they said, you know what? We're going to sit you and we're going to let you ride the pine. And we're going to bring up Andy Dalton, a guy who is a veteran and been around the league for so many years, and bounced around from team to team and still gets the job done, which is nothing wrong with that. You're a veteran. Veterans do that, but you should always, lean to the side and give Bryce Young some advice and say, look, don't lose faith, kid. Don't lose faith. Have your head up. Keep your head up and, develop your game, because it's hard to come into the NFL and, ball out. It's hard to do that. It's hard to come into a league where you could either be, considered a top 5 quarterback, or you're just going to be considered a flash in the pan, aka a bust. So, Bryce Young is a prime example of what Kevin O'Connell said. Prime example of it. And these organizations, if they're going to draft a young quarterback, they better utilize him, put faith in him, put a lot of trust in him, and let him develop his game. And, get an offensive line around him. Build. That's what you got to do. Build an offensive line. Help his run game. Help his wide receivers. Help out. He is the nucleus of your franchise. That's the face of the franchise. You make sure your face of the franchise, get players, and get, the courage and the confidence and the trust and faith in him to win these games and succeed. It's not going to be overnight, but he needs to succeed. Build around him in order to see that success. You know what I'm saying? And, you got to trust the process too. You got to trust the process. And it's a very cliche word from, the Philadelphia 76ers or any, other organization, but you got to trust the process and you got to believe in the process. So now you're hearing nothing but trade rumors and teams who are very interested in Bryce Young now. And Nick Saban even said the same thing that Kevin O'Connell said. He said it the same way, but didn't say the quote because he sees it the same way that Coach O'Connell sees it. These guys are losing faith in young players, guys who have great legs, guys who have great knowledge for the game. And Bryce Young has great knowledge for the game. He has an arm, a superb arm, but he doesn't have an offensive line. That's what he needs. He needs an offensive line when you're playing with the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are awful. They're just bad, awful, trash. Throw them in a trash can. That's what the Carolina Panthers is. And if you really want to put all the blame, if you really want to lean towards putting blame on somebody, put blame on David Tepper. Put all the blame on Tepper. Put all the blame on him. Because for one, he's not helping this organization build better for the future. You had coach after coach after coach after coach. And what was the result? Failure. You gotta understand. when it comes to this game, it's a young man's league. You know, slash veterans. It's all about a young man's league now. It's a young man's game. You know, it's going to be some guys that are going to leave the game soon, that they're going to have to lean towards for mentorship. That's what they're going to have to need, man. And you know, the Carolina Panthers, they're done. They're finished. They're never going to see the postseason for a long time. You know, not with that front office. Not with who's running the organization. They're not going to see any success at all for a long time. The last time we ever seen, as NFL fans, the last time we ever seen the Carolina Panthers have any kind of success and have any kind of, you know, faith in themselves is when they had Luke Kuechly, when they had Cam Newton, when they had an offensive line, when they had a crazy good defense. Went all the way to the Super Bowl and lost Super Bowl 50 to the Denver Broncos. And by the way, Peyton Manning was MVP that game. Don't forget it. Rest in peace to you know, Demaryius Thomas. But what I'm trying to say is, if you really want to see fans fill up seats and see this team and cheer this team on, build and produce. Build, produce, trust, faith, and let this young quarterback develop within time. That's all you have to do, you know. And you know, guys just got to understand that, you know. And the more he loses his faith, the more he loses his trust. The more you lose faith, trust, and, you know, confidence and belief in him, and don't let him develop as well, the locker room's going to lose the same kind of, you know, faith in him too. So, again, you know, Bryce Young, he's a hell of a young player. He done great in Alabama. But, you know, it's going to be hard to translate any kind of success in the pros when you have no offensive line. Your team's garbage. What more can you say? You need someone that can help and build this team the right way. That's what you need right away. Give me your thoughts on, you know, Bryce Young and Kevin O'Connell's quote in the comment section below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and even comment. I'm at 251 subscribers. Chicken Nugget King 313. Big shout out to the Tigers and Red Wings. Today, downtown Detroit is going to be like lit. Yes, it's going to be lit, man. These guys, they're going to have a hell of a game between, you know, the Blackhawks and White Sox as they come to town facing the Red Wings and Tigers. So make sure you guys go out there and enjoy the day and enjoy these games. And, yeah, let's go Lions. Monday night too. So, Chicken Nugget King 313 out. And check in with your boy later. Peace.